In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. Hello everyone. I hope wherever you are in this globe, you are safe and healthy. Before I begin my short session on the impact and ramification of COVID-19 on construction contracts, I would like to share my deepest sympathy for the family of the victims of COVID-19 throughout the world. We will review clause number 19, force majeure of FIDIC Silver Book, which has been published the first edition in 1999. As you may know, Silver Book is one of the rainbow of contract arrangements of the FIDIC. Let's go back to force majeure conditions, clause 19. Under subclause 19.1, FIDIC defines force majeure as follows. Force majeure means an exceptional event or circumstances which is beyond a party's control, which such party could not reasonably have provided against before entering the contract, or of course in some contracts they also state that at the time of tendering the contract could not foresee such an exceptional event. And third, which having arisen, such party could not reasonably have avoided or overcome, and which is not substantially attributable to the other party. FIDIC has also categorized the force majeure events into 5 items. The first one is war, hostilities, whether war be declared or not. Second, rebellion, terrorism. Third, riot, commotion, disorder. Fourth, munition of war. And fifth, natural catastrophes such as earthquake. However, as you noticed in the 5 items that I enumerated, the epidemic illnesses has not been mentioned. But please note that going back to the second paragraph of subclause 19.1, it does say force majeure may include but not limited to exceptional events or circumstances of the kind listed as I mentioned. Now we will examine subclause 19.2, which is notice of force majeure, and it is extremely important. If a party is or will be prevented from performing any of its obligations under the contract by force majeure, then it shall give a notice to the other party of the event or circumstances constituting the force majeure, and shall specify the obligations, the performance of which is or will be prevented. This is very important. In a separate session, I will explain about the importance of these notices. So the notice shall be given within 14 days after the party became aware or should have become aware of the relevant event or circumstance constituting force majeure. Now, subclause 19.3 reads, duty in minimize delay, each party shall at all times use reasonable endeavors to minimize any delay in the performance of the contract as a result of force majeure. Now, for our case, for instance, by observing the social distance and wearing mask, it could diminish the delays in progress of works. But conditions of subclause 19.4 should also be taken into consideration. It reads, if the contractor is prevented from performing any of his obligations under the contract by force majeure of which notice has been given under subclause 19.2, which I already mentioned, and suffers delay or incurs costs by reasons of such force majeure, the contractor shall be entitled, subject to subclause 20.1, which is contractor's claims, to an extension time for any delay if completion or will be delayed under subclause 8.4, extension of time for completion. And it also mentions if the event or circumstance is of the kind described in subparagraphs 1 to 5 of subclause 19.1 definition of force majeure, and in the case of subparagraphs 2 to 5 occurs in the country, payment of any such cost. Unfortunately, for payment of the cost and the cost incurred is not something that you can claim for under COVID-19. You can claim for the delays that have been caused as a result of lockdowns or maybe order of the government or change in law, but the costs, unfortunately, you cannot do anything, and it is not really reasonable to have claim for the costs involved. Thank you for your attention and your time.